Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to share my Artful Faces mixed media canvas with you. So I started off this project by finding a 12 by 12 canvas that Tim Holtz makes. It's called a District Market Burlap panel. And I laid a lot of different things out that I thought I might want to include on the panel. And I came up with the idea of using some of the molds that I had that had some of these cameo faces or stork faces, which was really neat. So I just kept playing with a lot of different things, molds, a lot of chipboards. I had some old paint brushes that I used to put in there. And then I used a little Venetian blind shutters by Prima that I would highlight one of the faces as the primary piece. And so I used some frames that I had from molds perspective and gears and just started to layer those together to give it a lot of three-dimensional depth. I really wanted this piece to have a lot of that dimension. So I use heavy body gel to adhere all these items down. It dries really well, especially if you let it dry overnight. But then I also use a little hot glue here and there just to kind of hold it, but the heavy body gel is what really will help it set up and then not worry about the temperature that you can run into with hot glue and move around you. So once the composition was all done, I went ahead and then got some heavy gesso out, the white gesso from Prima. It's a really good product to cover a lot of these surfaces to allow it to be ready for the next step of the color and the inks that we put on it. So once that was done, then I got out a selection of inks, and these are the Prima Art Alchemy liquid acrylics. I used Prussian blue, deep turquoise, ultramarine, a little splash of purple, as well as burnt sienna and tiger orange. I arranged these colors in threes, so different areas of the palette, just to keep your eye interested in the different flow and composition. And then I really wanted to punch it out, so went back in with some ink black just to give us a highlight that deep dimension and push some of the background back and let the other pieces really pop up. And then since it's a three-dimensional canvas, it's my tip is rotate it around and keep looking at different nooks and crannies. Make sure you have the color where you want it and deep shadows where you want them. After letting the inks dry thoroughly, I went ahead and applied the Finivar Art Alchemy metallic wax. Used the vintage gold first, and I applied in my hand to kind of warm up the wax, and also just to allow it easier for me personally to dab my finger in, and then that way I can kind of feel the surface and see where I want to apply the wax to the higher end raised elevations of the molds itself, as well as the chipboards. And then I also used a little paintbrush to kind of get in some of those fine areas that I really want to pop. And then once that was complete, I went ahead and did some splatter effects with some colors up. I think it turned out really well. I was really excited about the project. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do. Wasn't sure what the final outcome would be, but just went with the creative process. Really like the three-dimensionality of all the molds and the chipboards and all the other elements. I really appreciate you watching today, and please don't forget to subscribe.